All right. We're here with Bant, Approach the Second Sun. One of my favorite archetypes. Totally seen everywhere. I really like this card, one of my favorite cards of all time, so here I am going to try it and explore. I I like the layout here, right? We the curve looks pretty nice. It's really funny looking. But we're gonna, this is the starting point. Obviously, I change things as I go. I really like Cultivate, so running a bunch of basics. If it wasn't for Cultivate, I really don't even think this would be considering. Like, I don't think you would even consider trying to do Approach. It's probably not going to work anyways, but this is definitely MVP here. Balagate Recovery is another really good one, right? With all the discard in the format, and boy, is there a lot. It's nice to maybe pick up one of your approaches that got discarded and just cast it later. I'm doing the Proctor Scam with Lotus Field to start. If this was a green-white list, I don't know if I would want that, but we do have blue. Teferi feels pretty nice with it. I don't have much going on in the realm of instant speed stuff, right? Like, I don't know how relevant Teferi is, but it draws cards. I could run fog effects, right, next to Teferi to protect Teferi and then just keep plussing and ignore what my opponent is doing on the board. But I have so many board wipes that that might not be an issue. Still no discontinuity or anything like that. Approach is just what we're doing. So Growth Spiral is another really good one. I think, how many lands? There's 25 lands and then another 4 here that I don't think it counts. I'm pretty sure Growth Spiral does not work with recovery, right? You can't like choose this if it's your only land in hand. But even still, I think Growth Spiral is fine. The early plays are all 3 colors, which is not fine, but we'll see how atrocious that winds up being. There's certainly a lot of double white. I think that's the only double color, right? Yeah, but early green, just for Cultivate, seems the most important. I could maybe go down a forest and up a plain, something like that, but this is just where I start it. The sideboard is very straightforward because it's just a straightforward strategy. So we have things that are, it could buy us a bunch of time, like, oh, it's mono green, let's just throw these in there. Or, oh, it's, I don't know, the control mirror, blue red or blue white, just have the Dovin's Vetoes, Devout Decrees, Pithing Needle for the Grease Fang decks. So there's just stuff that I like about this. It seems pretty straightforward. Tamiel's another cool one. I can sort of mill into an approach and then just pick one up. I can just name approach and dig for it. That's 2. That's pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. The most straightforward thing you could possibly do in this format. Let's see how we do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. I just don't feel like that makes sense. I'm not really getting a lot of value out of it. Like, I could do the liquid metal coating. I don't hate that. Okay, my opponent has something here, and I am completely dumbfounded of what it could be. A rogue? Oh, yeah, okay. I was about to say, it has to be the rogue, right? Haven't seen it yet, but there it is. So this is not mono black. It is a lull I lose to tempo spell pierce deck. Actually, can I even beat this? Well, it's not impossible. Definitely does not feel good right now, though. I guess another green can't hurt. Alright, I mean, if my opponent somehow just, like, doesn't respect Farewell... All their stuff has flash, though. Like, why would you play... Oh, okay. Root Snare doesn't feel particularly strong right now. What does this flip into? Copy of another creature in a graveyard, except it's a 4/4. Okay, well, they didn't mill any creatures, and, well, we don't have any, so... Does it just stay as a 4/4? Enter the battlefield? Yeah, it does, okay. Alright, well. Exile in graveyards is pretty good, because they have Drown in the Lock and stuff. And other things. I don't know why they're running Cling to Dust. That's not typical. It's actually highly unusual. Okay. Ooh, I should have played my land first because of, yeah, I should have played my land. That's that's my bad. Should absolutely have played my land first there. Play around Spell Pierce. Shock yourself. But don't use the mana to kill me with the Hive. Really? Wow. Okay. They could have... Yeah, wow. They had the answer and they didn't use it. Looks like they're keeping up a creature here. Could be a Fatal Push. Let's go get an Approach. Could get a Fog. I think an Approach is fine, though. Kind of feel like I need to get it before I just lose this to Fairy and have Stone Cold nothing. And I don't know if I'm in a position where I really need another Fog. So this makes sense. Alright, looks like a removal spell. Still not firing up the Hive there. This does not play around Wandering Emperor. If they should have fired up the Hive, or this is the second time I would have done that. It's unusual. They can actually mill my Approach, which is kind of funny. Second card you draw. Oh, this is good against Teferi's Plus, huh? Oh, so be it. I don't know what universe I don't cast this in Plus anyways, so... Alright, that was pretty good. I don't want to upkeep cast it. I don't think I mean, maybe I should. Like, what am I doing here? That's exactly why. Because they have a second Spell Pierce. Nice. Yeah, it was smart to do that. Look at that. I actually did a smart thing. Actually did a smart thing. I did the smarties. Alright. Surely you play a creature. Well, I guess not anymore. Alright, that was a good draw. We can see if this works. Put this on white. Good. Gets a plus here. Not as good. How far are we? Yeah, they can, again, they can pretty reliably mill my, can pretty reliably mill my card here. I'm not going to actually Wandering Emperor this, because I don't think I have to. It doesn't kill Teferi. Oh, it just feels like I should anyways. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way I don't do this, right? Like, why would I not do this? Okay, my phone just gave up. Post sideboard, this gets way, way more difficult. I do kind of like Dovin's Veto. I don't like Decree. Half their deck is instant speed. Kaito's a strange one. March is alright at dealing with some of their stuff. This exiles or counters most of their creatures, and Drown in the Loch particularly. So maybe I do like this. Do I, though? I mean, I guess? Cultivate feels a little clunky. You can play a slower game, I think. I still want the 4 and 4 here. Especially with the incidental mill they have in their deck, so... Maybe drop some of these fogs. Okay. I like my sideboard answers here, but they have to be good enough. Oof. Probably put back an Approach, right? Like, just, yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Mulliganing is real rough against the Thoughtseize Duress, but... Oh, look, Thoughtseize, wow. Who would have guessed? I certainly wouldn't have. Surely there's no turn 2 threat to follow it up. Oh, just another Thoughtseize, of course. Alright. My opponent kept a 1-land hand with double Thoughtseize. And then scooped. Oh, that's mad funny. Yup. So, like I said, most of the times against a deck with direct Thoughtseize, they're going to mulligan into it and assume it's good enough, because a lot of people just do that. Obviously, they were banking on drawing multiple lands, but disrupting my early game does kind of make sense, even if you only have 1 land, so the double Thoughtseize. But, as we see here, most of my deck doesn't really do anything until turn 3 onwards anyways, so the early Thoughtseizes aren't actually all that devastating, especially when there's no follow-up. So maybe it's just lag. Ooh, this is a dope card back. Oof! Oof, look at that. It reminds me of Bedevil. I think it's the same artist, I would argue. Alright, it's Karuga, so we have time to just not do anything. Wait. Yes. The ooze one is creatures, right? Well, typically. I guess it could be enchantments, but I mix up Karuga and the ooze one sometimes. So what does Karuga do? It's been a while. It's just like Elesh, Norn, Omnath, Elemental stuff, but I haven't seen green or blue or anything. Not sure. I mean, it has to be at least one of those, right? They can't cast Karuga if it isn't. Okay, they have the best card in the game against us. Turn 3, unfortunate. Well, I mean, we didn't come here not to cast Cultivates. I don't really need more green mana, so I'll just do this. Do we play this as a land? Actually, no, we don't, because we can Balagate Recovery a second Farewell if that winds up being relevant. Something's telling me it will be. You got rid of another Fable? Really? Your hand was that juiced? Wow. Just strange. I mean, I'll take it, I guess. I mean, that's bad news bears, but... Okay, we found the green source. Yep, it's just an Omnath deck. Alright, well, this turn is certainly a farewell turn. If I ever had to take a wild shot in the dark here. And again, I can Balagate Recovery it, which is pretty dope. Pretty dank, how the kids say these days. Could also leave up Wandering Emperor. So far, no blue. Usually blue is like one of the more prolific colors in this strategy. I could just Teferi minus. I've seen no answer. I don't know what the answer is in this. I think I'm just going to Teferi minus. I get Teferi plus as well, but the double battle cry can be spooky, scary spook. Let's play you tapped. I'm not going to play Proctors. Not really much of a reason, especially if I plan on farewelling. Oh, of course. But it has a Omega tier answer. Unfortunate. We draw literally the worst card in our deck. I would have even taken a land here. So do I pick up Farewell right now? I don't believe so, because I can actually Farewell in the same turn I pick it up at this point. And I could also just pick up, you know, Teferi. Maybe I really should not have taken that damage. Might have been unnecessary. Yeah, I just shouldn't have taken that. There's not much my opponent could reasonably have here. So, that, like, Wandering Emperor wouldn't just answer anyways. Yeah, I should not have taken that damage. Probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter, but would have been wise to not do that. Alright, so we're going to pick up... We're going to pick this up and cast it. My neighbor's dog is going ballistic, but that is my life. As per usual. Okay, that's fine. Boop, boop. Another Wandering Emperor. Pretty obvious I have it, I would assume. Cavalier of Flame? Okay, yep. Opponent doesn't get rid of any card. Interesting. This does not have trample. Alright, surely I'll draw something. That is technically stuff. I'd rather not name Approach, because I don't want my opponent to know it's in my deck. Just name Farewell. I don't know, I'll just name Approach. Who cares? Who cares? And then I make another this. Guess I'll run these out at this point. Just to have more blocky walkies. Untappy wappy. And we're happy. This is profoundly difficult for my opponent to come out of at this point. But it is certainly possible. And they do have blue. They actually... Red, white, green... They're 5-color. This is a 5-color deck. It's pretty interesting. With triple red cards. So there's a triple red here. Omnath is quad. This is mono. This is dual. Very unusual. Oh, I guess it paid off that I actually played these, huh? They can't get these triggers. That's actually really funny. The proctors are actually extremely useful. Look at that. Color me surprised. Okay. Well, I guess I do have a proctor in play, so why not? I will cash this in to make another blocker, because they can give it haste and beat me up. I don't want to get bullied. I'm going to cycle this now, just to make it so my opponent is fully aware they are dead. There's nothing they could possibly draw to get out of this, right? Unless they deal 21 damage through my 2 blockers or something crazy. There's just nothing in the game that can, yeah. They just can't stop the approach. Sweet. We got an approach win. Look at that. So, Devout Decree does red stuff, but I don't know. Cavalier and Omnath, is that enough to do that? I don't think so. Change the Equation is also reasonable. March is kind of slow, especially when they can't play 1 and 2 drops. So, and they seem creature-centric, so Dovin's Veto is not great. So it's like Change and maybe Decree. Kind of like Change. Do I like all 4? Do I like it enough? Like, what am I taking out? I don't want to take out Farewell and Doomscar against a deck, again, that seems predominantly creatures. Maybe I just don't change anything. All of these feel slightly too situational. Yeah, alright. I don't think there's anything I like here. It just feels too situational. So I kind of want to keep this because my top decks are strong, but again, we have a dead card here in Proctor. But we have all the mana we need. No, I think we can find something slightly better. We sort of did. I can put back you. I do really, really need a land, and it really, really needs to be a white source. But if we don't find it, we move on. There's a lot of lands in my deck. We did not take out the Balagate recoveries either. Gotta be kidding me. Actually insane. Kind of want to scoop. Alright. Actually unbelievable. What is there? 25? There's 29 lands in my deck. I had 2 of them. One of them I can't play, so God forbid. Alright, this is a whole bunch of lands again, and not much else. No Sweeper, no Teferi, no Growth Spiral, no Proctor. I just don't like it. Okay, put back a Temple Garden. Oh, they mulliganed as well. They brought in Leyline of the Void? That is absolutely insane to me. That is completely insane. Wow. Leyline of the Void for what? Just my Tameo? Sure. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's just like crazy to me to do that. I played this on 2 because they can't have 3-mana cards. Or 2-mana cards to, like, kill it. So. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot do this. Do it next turn. I'll play another one, just to stop any weird omnath shenanigans, I guess. Alright, so we get an approach in the deck, and then if we ever just randomly find one again, we're pretty happy. As in, we basically just win instantly. I will not swing, because I would like to maybe kill this token, and obviously I'm not going to kill my opponent before I approach the second time. That's a desperation loot. Although, again, I think maybe keeping this is slightly better than the alternatives. It's kind of scary. Every time your opponent gets rid of a Fable with a Fable, you're like, uh-oh. They could have, like, a third one or something. Okay. Opponent has Kenrith in their deck. You got it. And they do swing with the token. Alright, so I can Teferi and I'll just plus because I'm literally poised to find better things. I could also just not do that, actually. They could find some spooky, scary stuff with Kenrith in play. So maybe we just don't let that be a reality. Especially with this, giving this haste with Kenrith, right? Then just like playing something else. Could be a severe problem. Alright, this draws cards. Oh, it redraws Kenrith. Oh no, it doesn't because of the Proctors. Oh, yes. Proctors coming in swift. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Oh, these Proctors are so dirty. Niv Mizzet? What do you... Okay. Alright. Of course I draw lands. Just, why wouldn't I, right? Just, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Well, I'm sure this Teferi is not long for this world. Alright, so Farewell, Doomscar, Wandering Emperor isn't bad. Other stuff with things. This seems strange to me. Seems highly unusual. I will just throw this here, because if I have an opportunity to untap with Teferi, I'm going to take it. Okay, my opponent just let me untap with a Teferi when they know about this approach. That's highly unusual. I will definitely just run this out. I can still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I cannot. I can't top deck another approach, but okay, so I can use this Teferi to minus one of these, and I think that's kind of reasonable, because other than that, Teferi's not doing much, and all I need to do is untap. So let's minus on what is easily the scariest one of these. Now my opponent is drawing Kenrith, but that doesn't kill me. Actually, it doesn't really even come close. Alright, they can't cast more spells than that, and then I block and win. Sweet. Oh, wait. 9, 10, 11? Oh, it's 16. Really? All that effort, dude, it was so close. It was right there. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. So if I minused on fires, they can't spam activate, but then they would have a Niv Mizzet in play, so I don't know what that does. Okay, so we took out the Proctors and stuff and added some fogs. Oh, and the Tamiyo. Added fogs because it seems like I'm just barely getting there, and what's killing me in those just barely moments is creatures. So if I can just stop that from being a reality, also helps me severely with actually playing Teferi and not feeling bad about just simply cycling it. And solve the equation instead of Balagate recovery, just to get an approach. Or if I literally need something else, then you just get that as well, right? If I don't have the mana, I can just get Cultivate, stuff like that. So that seems fine. Took out Lotus Field because, again, no Proctor, no Thespian Stage. I think it just helps me with my color issue, early game, stuff like that, or faster growth spirals. I think this just makes sense. Haven't changed the sideboard though. I don't think I can get rid of this. All right. Well, this is the most prolific matchup that you see quite literally everywhere. Wow. Into Nykthos? No? Wow. No, Nykthos. What are you doing? Okay, so I guess I don't even really need another blue. It feels free enough. Let's just do that. I don't know. Again, issue is Karn. It's Karn. I am not very close to dealing with this quite yet. Of course, they find Nykthos. Why wouldn't they? They could have just cast the Storm the Festival. That's strange. I guess this puts lethal into play, right? Yeah, this does put lethal into play actually. So that makes sense because this could whiff. Could totally whiff here. I mean, we could totally whiff too. All right, so again, Karn, just like Karn or Bust here, right? They have Storm the Festival, which is, I don't know, pretty likely to find a Karn, I guess. Had they milled any? No. Okay, I guess they didn't find one. My opponent, like, I'm dead. There's no reason to... but I'm dead. Wait. Yeah. I was about to say, you gotta, like, you gotta force the... you should at least force lethal. Like, imagine they just didn't swing for lethal. That would be so funny. They just didn't swing for lethal. Okay, well, they had something and chose not to use it. I don't know what that means, but I can't be... I'm pretty nervous. Okay, I'm going to go get an approach. I don't feel like I have to farewell, right? I mean, obviously, we're not here to do that. We could even get another one. I think I just will. I think I'm just going to get another approach. Because, like, why not? Alright. Bant approach. Doing Bant approach things. Obviously, again, I'm going to make my opponent force the attack. Sometimes people don't swing when you fog spam. And there's Karn. Yep. Of course. Do you have the Stone Brain in your sideboard? You do not. Alright. That slows me down, but it only slows me down. It doesn't just win the game instantly. I don't know why my opponent didn't just blow this up. I feel like I would have done that with Karn. I guess in this instance, I just have to minus this and cast Farewell so I don't lose the game. They do get a Karn to, like, exist after the fact, but... I don't know if there's any haste threats, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6, so it can't get Cityscape Leveler. Alright, my opponent just full stop did not activate Karn. Don't know why. Strange to me. Alright, we are in absolute paradise right now. My opponent knows about the second second approach too. It's kind of funny. They just know that exists. 5, 6, 7, so they can get a Cityscape leveler right now. I don't know why they manually tapped. Sure. This mills over the... Well, I mean, there's just no outs now. Yeah, I mean, they don't have enough mana for any out in the game right now, so... Karn can't find anything that does anything, so... Cool. I guess just change the equation in Pithing Needle because Karn. So we take out Wandering Emperor, bring these in. Take out... Do I need this many fogs? Probably. I guess I don't need the Doom Scar. A lot of their creatures, when they die, are not ideal. Because, like, the Troll goes on a land, and the Cavalier gets a card back, so I don't like it that much. I don't want to be too thin on the fogs. Maybe that's still just... Because I do have 4 farewells, so maybe that's just reasonable. This hand does not make sense to me. This one does. Let's put back Solve. Wait, we can just put back a land, right? Hold on. Yeah, let's not be ridiculous here. Yep, of course. Can't have a game without that turn 1, right? Actually, if it wasn't for Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic, you wouldn't play this deck at all, so... It's just like a stupid thing to see every game. So powerful. So goodly. Alright, well, in the old I need lands department, already. Opponent not missing a beat. Look at that. Power of Elvish Mystic. All of this because of this. I don't have time to cultivate, unfortunately. Like, solve the equation cultivate. So, I'm banking on a land? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Let's actually... We can actually do this. I have 5, and I can go get a Fog. Right? And this way I can at least cast a Fairy and not instantly die. We're 5, 10... I'm almost dead, but almost isn't dead. Okay, layer... That doesn't change anything. Oh, wait, what does this flip into? Does this kill me? Does that kill me? 11, 12, 13? No, not quite. Alright, I found the land anyways. But now they have Lair of the Hydra, so obviously I can't do that. Well, at least there's no counter spells. Just can't run out of gas, can we? Last card is Karn. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Yep. Yep. Of course that's castable. Why wouldn't it be? Whatever. Stupid Karn, dude. I can't handle this card. Karn is just... I detest that card. I'll gladly deal with Fabled and Mirror Breakers all day before I deal with this stupid Karn. I don't want Dovin's Veto in my deck, but if I have to, like, just for Karn, I don't think I can run that. I don't think that makes any sense, but like I said, it just hinges down to Karn. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay. Oh, look. That looks familiar. I wish I had that in my deck. Do I just get time walked here? Yep. Just getting time walked. And again, Nykthos. Again. Alright, well, this is the penultimate hand. Imagine they were on the play. Probably would have already lost. I need a white source. Do I need another blue? No, not really. So let's do that. Do this. So we have Teferi next turn, but opponent's just doing stupid stuff already. Just a matter of me not losing to Karn again, I think, right? Because with Teferi and the Fogs, I'm kind of set for everything else. If I get enough mana, I can farewell that thing they like to keep getting. Cavalier? Nope. Oh look, it's Karn. Wow. Can't wait. Can't wait to lose to that one. Again. Actually, we have a good sequence of draw. I mean, I do need an untapped land, so that's actually not even true. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I need an untapped land. Otherwise, I can't farewell. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up. I didn't untap a green source for my Fogs. I just, like, legit messed this up. So now I lose to Fairy. And I can't cast anything, so I'm wasting my time. Yeah. So, I mean, I had an out with finding an untapped land, and then minusing this with Teferi, and then casting Farewell. Although casting Farewell on this board really isn't that great, but I do... yeah, I probably don't even Farewell, actually. I probably just minus, and then just sit here. Yeah, because then I can leave up Change the Equation. But yeah, it's just this stupid card. It literally, it's just so stupid, right? Like, I can't do anything. I just can't do anything. I can run Dovin's Veto instead of Change. I mean, Change never came up either, unfortunately. I've been bottom floor. I've been dumpster platinum since the start of this month. But I mean, that's just par for the course. Right. I'm gonna be dumpster platinum until I play something better. So I just don't want to. They are Karuga, so Wandering Emperor is probably the weakest card in my hand. Okay, so we know this to be Fires of Invention. I just haven't really played much against Karuga decks. I feel slightly more prepared for it, though, with my Fogs. That is actually massive. Wow, you have nothing. Love to see it. I guess I don't have much going on either, but I'm doing everything I want to. Alright, I got 5 mana. Surely there's no fires on 4. Surely. Nice. There's just nothing. Okay. Don't worry, opponent. I am in the same boat. I will actually cycle this. Sure. Opponent has something here. Well, I guess I found a card that has text on it. Why not? Alright, so I have everything I've ever wanted. I just have to find Approach the Second Sun. I have 44 cards left. What are the chances here, deck tracker? Almost 10% chance we draw it. Surely it is. Surely it's possible, right? Alright, what's our 5? Elishnorn? Yep, no surprise there. Kind of need to deal with that immediately so I don't lose immediately. 2 said card. Double Battle Cry is, or Enter the Battlefield, too much Hearthstone. Double Enter the Battlefield is pretty spooky scary. That is not that spooky scary, actually. Timely Teferi. Although my opponent is now aware of aware of the fogs and stuff. Because they saw one. Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. But sure. May have been a misclick. Don't really know. Okay, lost the fairy anyways. I have farewells. I mean, I can get it back. But it's nice to deal with Kenrith, I guess. I don't see why they would, binding this. Hey, there it is. Alright. Surely we get to it before we're dead. So we have... How many... Let's play this and pass. How many, We still have all 4 solve the equations. So, it's actually a pretty solid chance here we just win off the top. Actually, it's one of the higher outcomes. I mean, yeah, collectively, but it's not counting just like every card in the deck. Could be a land or something. That does not have haste, right? Yeah. Is this the same player? Am I saying? I don't think this is the same opponent. It's just the same net deck. I just haven't really played against Fires of Invention Karuga stuff yet. Which is kind of surprising. Seems pretty neat. This doesn't gain trample or anything. I'll just make it 2/2. If I don't have to cast a fog, I guess I just won't. Cycling this is the same as, like, casting it to buy a turn. But this way I get to immediately see stuff that could be useful. Okay, well, I didn't quite have that happen. How close are we? Alright. Again, a lot of outs. Not just this one here specifically. We have the change equation, or solve the equations and stuff. This does not kill me, and until it does, I won't root snare. There doesn't seem to be non-creature damage, so... Alright. Again, I'm not dead. I have double fog, so they have to kill me or stop me in a way that is not combat damage. Oh, they did not have a red source for haste there. That's Ripskis, huh? Yeah, I mean, if I don't have to cast it, I'm just not going to. Shoot, I didn't even have to block. Oh, cool. Yeah, that works too. Alright. Nice. This happened last time. Everything is, like, somewhat good, but nothing is, like... I'm not going to bring in a card that's only good against, like, 2 cards. Which doesn't feel right. Yeah, I don't think I have a sideboard for this, really, except maybe Devout Decree, but again, they have such a wide range of things, I don't know. Devout Decree doesn't deal with Fires of Invention anyways. Yeah, I just don't feel confident about my sideboard at all. I guess neither does my opponent. Or they just did it really fast, who knows. Could be used to the Bant approach deck. That's what my opponent is used to, right? Bant approach. All right, so I got the old ramp ski poo into Teferi, into a fog, into an approach. Almost a perfect hand here. Could go for a growth spiral maybe, but that would require actually hitting land drops, so can't be too upset. Oh wow, we found one. Okay, so this kind of is the perfect draw, sort of. Kind of. I don't have... Oh, no, I do have Growth Spiral mana on 2. That is actually huge. Alright, very good. What are you cycling? What is this? What do we cycle here? Oh, that's not a cycle. That's a Bone Crusher Giant. This is a lot of basics for a 5-color deck. That's a big oof. And still having a Fable. Yep. All the basics in the world, the 5-color deck. Still have Fable on 3. Love to see it. Alright, do this... You. Yep. Alright, so I only have 1 root snare, but, let's see, Teferi, plus approach, plus, okay. They still have Skyclave in their deck? Wow. That's crazy. Surely this treasure token doesn't annihilate me. Well, technically no. I mean, you can't have Spell Pierce. Oh, of course. Right. Why wouldn't you have that? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I can play Approach next turn, and then I'm just banking on another one. I'd also really would like to see some kind of Farewell here. 2 more bindings. They had Teferi covered 6 ways to Sunday. Card was not doing anything this game. Kind of good to know about the Mystical Disputes. Was not on my radar. I wonder if they have all 4, because you can't play 1 or 2 mana counterspells. If you want counterspells, you probably have 4 of these. Which is really bad for me, because they're pretty easily... They're just pretty good at countering anything. Alright, well, I guess my opponent just has a Thought Distortion, so... Nothing matters anyways, huh? You got it. Thought Distortion with all monocolored lands, none of them being black. Because of Fable the Mirror Breaker. Why not? I think my opponent could have just killed me. And they didn't. That's a highly unusual one as well. I guess it mills over an Approach randomly. Which it just did. That's funny. Okay, I don't think I have any outs. I don't even really search my library. I mean, I do with Cultivate, but it just seems like really, really not ideal for my opponent to be running. But it's probably just the best they have. Just take what you can get. I don't think anything has convinced me of anything new. Maybe Dovin's Veto from the weird stuff I just saw might be better than, like, something else. Maybe, like, shave some Cultivates again. Get rid of some... Actually, yeah, let's get rid of those. Do that instead. Because the fogs aren't great without Teferi, and Teferi seems profoundly difficult to actually do anything when my opponent has Mystical Disputes and Binding. That was actually, again, it was one of the best hands I've ever had, too, and just got completely decimated by a Thought Distortion off of a no black source opening hand from the opponent. Absolutely tragic. Okay, so I can solve the equation for... I don't know. I guess a... oh, okay. Yep. Turn 1 blue source into Mystical Dispute. Into Fable, all 3 games. Turn 3. Best card in your entire deck. Must be nice. So stupid. So stupid for us here. Just so stupid. I thought about leaving up Dovin's Veto specifically for this, but silly me. What was I thinking? Oh, come on. Come on. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Gotta love it. Okay, so I can't cast that. I'm probably gonna have to... I mean, I need 7 mana, so I can't cycle my land here. Opponent has not seen Dovin's Veto, but at this point, does that... What does that matter? I don't want to counter something weird like an Ashiok, so... Whatever. You have another Mystical Dispute? Really? I think they do. Yeah, they do. It's just completely ridiculous. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to cast Farewell. I mean, this board is decent, but it's not decent enough. Casting Farewell just to deal with the remnants of a Fable just feels completely degenerate. So I'm not going to do that. I think they actually really do have another Mystical Dispute here. Because why else would you not put Karuga to your hand? Just doesn't make sense. Okay, they put Karuga to their hand. They do not have a Mystical Dispute. Well, they don't have it for non-blue. I am not dead if I cast this, but I need to cast this anyways. Yeah. Because Karuga will just end up drawing 14 cards, and that just can't let that fly. Alright. Surely there's no Thought Distortion. Oh, there's only one black source in play, so could be strenuous to get a second one. I don't think I've seen a swamp, so... that doesn't have haste, because they tapped wrong. Lucky us, I guess. I guess I keep my land, so I can cycle it at a future date. But we are under extreme pressure. Okay, they tapped wrong again, so they need an untapped red. Oh, it doesn't have it. Pretty sure they tapped wrong, right? Yes, they did tap wrong. They could have swung with this. Kind of need something. That is slightly too slow, so I guess we're just dead. We're dead to Kenrith +1/+1 counters, which they have exactly 2 green for, so cool. Okay, that is not the counter thing. They must have misclicked. Opponent just goes straight for it. Oh, great. Absolutely embarrassing. The Thought Distortion is kind of a joke, so I'm kind of surprised to see that. It's kind of ridiculous, but it completely hosed me. And this game, yeah, it was just a completely unimpeded Fable. The double Mystical Dispute was very, very, very devastating too, right? They have completely dead cards like Skyclave. Ashiok is alright, but just leading with Fable is just so stupid. I just can't play the game. And just like the last video I made, Fable the Mirror Breaker and Karn, that just completely push out so many like jank strategies you may or may not want to be doing. So yeah, this is just tragic, right? Like, you get close, you can see how you get close, right? Solve the equations, you cast this once, you're banking on not really finding this, you're kind of the one you cast, you're banking on finding anything but the one you just cast, because it's 7 deep, and it's pretty hard to just get right into it, especially without Tamiyo. Just like hard to do that. Maybe Tamiyo should just be in here because of that, but I don't really like approach decks where the approach you cast is the one that wins you the game, because that's hard to just get to, right? It's 7 deep. It's not realistic to do that. So the solve the equations are just like super great for that, over the Balagate recoveries and stuff. The Teferi Fog plan is just, I don't know, maybe at some point, like a year and a half ago, you could do that. I don't think this is, we're there anymore. It just barely can be there. In your sideboard, probably should be a transformative strategy as opposed to, oh, this card is good, let me bring it in and take what out, right? You don't really want to take out anything that's very good for your game plan. And I don't really like taking out farewells, especially when Fable the Mirror Breaker is just one of the, if not the, next to Karn, strongest card ever in the game, right? Or in the format. So taking out like my solid answer to exiling the results of one is just... Now, I mean, this costs twice as much as a Fable, but you can still reasonably get to it, right? With the Cultivate and stuff, you can exile the treasure tokens and every part of the Fable once it's done its stuff. It doesn't stop the discard on the thing and the looting and the card draw and all that, but it's hard to just not have Farewell ticking alongside these fogs, because the other permanent types are actually relevant. But yeah, even still, it's just, you can see how we get close, and then it just doesn't come together. It's like, oh, approach, or whatever. And it was a game where I got hit by a Thought Distortion. Someone Thought Distortion to me. Just 6 mana in a 5-color deck, just cast Thought Distortion, and I lost. It's like, alright, you know, I don't know, okay. I don't think this is a Thought Distortion meta at all, ever. Like, I would never think to play that. Like the mono black decks don't play Thought Distortion, so it's strange to see it out of a 5-color deck. I think multiple opponents even had it as well in the sideboard. I just don't really think that's where you want to be. Against us, it's pretty devastating, but even still, right? Like, I can just top deck approach and be kind of fine against Thought Distortion. It's not the end of the world to top deck solve as well, so it really isn't that bad. It just happened to have hosed us when we got hit by it. Mono Green Devotion, though, is a good matchup if you think you can deal with Karn specifically, which isn't too difficult. I struggled severely with it. You probably want even just the 4th Pithing Needle, but that seems like you're pushing it a little bit. But maybe that is where you just want to be, because you can, again, kind of beat the rest of the mono green deck, because all it does is swing at you with creatures and plays Kiora and draws cards, and that's it. Beseiju is a little annoying, because Pithing Needle is something it can Beseiju, but if you are playing against a mono green constantly, this isn't a bad deck. It's not that bad. You could tweak some of these numbers here. Maybe you don't need as many Wandering Emperors and just run Tamiyo instead, just to be more in on the fast wins instead of like trying to survive to get to them or whatever. But the mono green deck is a good matchup. Again, all you need to do is deal with Karn. And every time I played against it today, they had Karn and I couldn't answer it. Right? I just didn't have enough. I could bring in even the Dovin's Vetoes and maybe drop Farewells, just getting in the habit of doing that against mono green. Because again, if I can completely ignore the creatures, it doesn't matter if they're in play or not, because I have all these fogs. And just plussing Teferi over and over with a fog is obviously great. But yeah, either way, I don't think the format allows you to play this. I just like Bant approach decks. Like, I might as well try it. I definitely tried it quite a few times in Historic, and boy, let me tell you, it was not welcome there either. It was not welcome there either. Even a year ago, it was not welcome. And it has gotten far more devastating, right? With the One Ring Sheoldred and Orcish Bowmasters just making it way not palatable to try this. But thought I'd try it here. All in all, even with the mono green matchup being what I would consider favorable, it's still just the rest of the meta is going to completely annihilate you, no matter how you build this. So maybe best to have a transformative sideboard. Could do Book of the Exalted Deeds, Mutavault Scam, One Ring, or not One Ring, 9 Life Solemnity Scam could maybe come in from the sideboard too. Again, Beseiju is a bit of an issue at that point, because you can't give Solemnity, Shroud, or Hexproof, but there's something there, I'm sure. I'm willing to try it if people are interested in me trying that. But as this stood, it wasn't very great. Just the results are just terrible. So very unfortunate. I don't know if the Proctor Lotus Field thing was better or worse. I don't think that was really the issue, right? It's just like trying to win with approach is the issue, no matter how you slice it. The tools are just not there. Obviously, I would think we would see this looming around in the meta if the tools were there. It just isn't. But yeah, I don't know. I like Bant decks. I like Teferi, so I thought I'd try a different weird jank control strategy that I haven't tried in a while. Got annihilated, but through all my complaining, I still enjoy playing this. So let me know what you thought about this list. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.